We have discussed up to right to education. First one is right to life. Second one is right to family life. Third is education. Now, number fourth is right to personal freedom. Remember that we are discussing these civil rights. Right to personal freedom is absolutely necessary for the mental and physical growth of an individual. So, right to personal freedom, again I repeat, is very much necessary for the development of a personality of an individual and his both mental and physical growth. Right to personal freedom can be enjoyed in accordance with the laws made by the state and also in accordance with the interests of society. So there are two things in case of right to personal freedom. Freedom can be enjoyed in accordance with laws made by the state and also in accordance with the interest of society. You may find even 2-mark question on that because we have been asked to write to set questions for 1 mark, 2 mark and 4 mark. So this anything can be included under 4-mark questions, analytical type of questions where you will have to analyze on the spot what should be the correct answer. Another thing, number 5, right to religious freedom. And state does not impose any religion on people and they are free to adopt any religion and establish their religious institutions. But here one thing we must remember that we are free to adopt any religion or establish our own religious institutions. But by doing so, we must not hurt the sentiments of the people belonging to other religion. Right does not mean absolute right or absolute freedom. There are certain checks and balances. Number 7, right to freedom of movement. Every citizen has the right to move freely throughout the country. We don't have to take a passport because we don't have double citizenship. So we have every right to move throughout the country. You see, the people travel outside the state without any travel document. But for certain or for safety and security, we sometimes carry our own personal identification card. Citizens are also given the right to go abroad. But, however, certain areas are made or declared as restricted areas to which we cannot go without taking permissions from the government. And unless it is very necessary, we are not allowed to go to those areas. Number 8, right to freedom of press. Citizens are given the right to get their views printed in newspapers and periodicals. This right is essential for spreading education and information among people. Now, freedom of press. Citizens are given the right to get their views printed in newspapers and periodicals. The right is essential for spreading education and information among the people. So, we have other rights. A right to equality, which we will discuss in the fundamental rights. You know, all people are equal, and under Article 14, we have been given the right to equality. That is number 9, which we are going to discuss in the fundamental rights and legal rights. Now, what is right to justice? Now, after right to equality comes right to justice. To save the weak and the poor, right to get justice is also given. If this right is not given, many other rights also become meaningless. People are given the right to go to the court for securing justice. Yes, here one very important point is necessary. We have talked about legal aid, we have talked about public interest litigation, and if you see that if a weak person, economically weak person, is exploited, but he is unable to take legal course to he is unable to take recourse to legal action, then he is required to be represented in the court by a pleader. And it is the duty of the government to provide the pleader. So if you go through those notes, legal aid and public interest litigation, which I have given you, you will be able to know these things. Then number 11, right to form associations. This is also a civil right. In order to fulfill social, economic, political and cultural needs, many form or different types of associations can be formed. And a state government recognizes their right to do so. But the state does not permit the formation of associations that are considered harmful to the interest of the society. This is very important. The state will allow only to form associations where the associations will work for the good of mankind.